这是为了路易莎。
Tell me something, folks. Do any of you know what the Streisand effect is? I want you to give me your answers in the comments. Look, everyone, listen. Everything, doesn't matter what it is, everything happened for a reason. I'm gonna give you some examples, okay? The Berlin Wall. You always ask yourself, what is the first spark that led to the destruction of the Berlin Wall? Well, simple. An unprepared Democrat, or in this case, unprepared politician, didn't know about it or wasn't even informed, said something, and then boom, the Berlin Wall was demolished. I don't know what his name is, I'll put it on the screen just in case. What Drew Harris, the senior developer at Sucker Punch, should have done, just shut up. Yet she couldn't. And now look what happened. The Ghost of YoTei new trailer was crushed, but they are too cowardly to post on Twitter. Why do you ask? Simple. They've already known that they're going to get kaput, they're going to get teared to shreds.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've had a lot of people tell me recently that they have been unwillingly unsubscribed to the channel, so make sure that you check on that. And there's been a lot of talk about restricted mode being automatically enabled for a lot of users on YouTube, which would cut you off from a lot of your favorite channels. So don't forget to check into that as well and turn it off if it has been turned on and you don't want it.
I think I wouldn't mind about restricted mode. I think I already turned it off. Although again, check your Wi-Fi, because sometimes, I don't know, you know this, just recently, I don't know if this is constant, my Wi-Fi suddenly disconnected. I don't know what happened. I have to, let's just say I look for every guides in YouTube through my phone. Some work and then failed, and some failed as well. There are times where I had to resort to other things, and I'm still looking at my Wi-Fi just to be on the safe side. I had to resort to other things, such as, of course, connecting my phone Wi-Fi to my laptop. It's called Bluetooth teetering. Consider it a temporary solution, at least to, you know, upload videos or something.
Let's have a look at what we've got going on with this new Ghost of YoTei trailer. As of the time of this recording, they are currently sitting on this trailer at about 89,000 views in just a few hours, and the ratio is already looking pretty rocky for these guys, with 8.8 thousand likes to 6.4 thousand dislikes. Now, if you know much about how ratios tend to go on YouTube videos, usually the hardcore fans of a franchise swarm in to slobber all over it and shower it with likes right at first, but then, over the course of the first few days, the people who are unhappy with whatever's going on with the franchise that put out the video, they tend to start coming in and hitting it with dislikes. So, with that in mind, it would not be surprising at all if this thing was ratioed by sometime tomorrow, if not sooner. It will almost certainly be ratioed, it's just a matter of when. And that is quite a departure from what we have seen on Ghost of YoTei trailers in the past. The Song of Vengeance trailer from a few weeks back during Gamescom, that one currently has about 425,000 views on it, and currently there are 20,000 likes compared to 4,000 dislikes. They weren't getting a lot of likes back then because I don't think people have been terribly excited about this game ever since we heard that we weren't getting Jin Sakai back as the protagonist, but they weren't being ratioed either. I just think there was a bit of a lackluster response to the game. The people at Gamescom, as we know now, infamously were pretty non-responsive when they watched this trailer, not really cheering or responding much at all, but anyhow, they are absolutely getting, Sucker Punch that is, getting a response this time, and it is not looking good for them.
Not looking good? Okay, listen, if I had to make a guess, Ghost of YoTei is now on PS5 only, I think. I don't know if they got a PC port. I had to recheck this. If they do release on PS5 only, then that's gonna be a problem, okay? Listen, folks, console exclusive, there is a limitation to that, okay? You can't expect anyone to buy a PS5 or a PS5 Pro. Not anyone can even buy one. I buy a PS5 on one specific reason, okay? Stellar Blade. Ghost of YoTei failed on the PS5, then they have to speed up the PC port.
Hang on, let me check. Before the game releases. My dudes, look at these comments, and behold, Sucker Punch is facing the wrath of people who are fed up with companies going out of their way trying not to piss off the progressive left. You have to scroll down quite a ways to find a single positive thing that anyone is saying about this. Let's read what some of the comments are saying though and get a good chuckle out of it. Friend of the channel Yellow Flash,
Yellow Flash,
gentleman and a scholar, is right at the top saying simply, "Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk." But anyhow, then this guy posted, "Rest in peace, Charlie. You'll be remembered. Sucker Punch will not." Yup. They will be just another in a long line of companies from this era who bowed to the leftist activist crybabies and they got clobbered for it. But then this guy said, only clicked to see if the comments were going to be, and I'm happy to see, "Rest in peace, Charlie." And then this guy wrote, "Y'all hired an activist as the main character, you knew what you were doing the entire time, and that is exactly what I have been saying all along. They are all activists working at this company. Hiring Erika Ishii as the main character was all the evidence that I needed that this was a game for me to avoid. As a matter of principle, it is worth dodging something like that just to send a message." But then this guy wrote, "Is it really that hard to denounce your own employees celebrating someone's death?" And the funny thing is...
Okay, we got to stop here. Hang on a second, folks. Well, let's talk about that one. They say, what was that exactly say? Is it really that hard to denounce your own employees celebrating the death of someone's? Honestly, this kind of thing should be in every job description. Yeah, hold that thought, folks, just to be on the safe side. Turn on. I have to do this the old-fashioned way. Sorry I had to do this, but like I said, my Wi-Fi, for some reason, it disconnected automatically. It says Wi-Fi turned off, which I didn't turn it off. I don't know what I pressed. Gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Like I said, I have to do this the old-fashioned way. Besides the point, so sorry. Yeah, sometimes when your Wi-Fi is disconnected or anything, you have to find other ways. No choice. It's frustrated, but besides the point. If I were a game company or if I were an owner, I would condemn this, okay? This should be in every job description. They should say, in the terms of service, you should not ever celebrate someone's death. Doesn't matter whether it's comedic purposes or anything, you should never do that. People like this, they refuse to listen. Again, like I said, if this game goes on the PS5 only, then if it fails, they have to speed up the PC port, which I'm hoping Marvel's Wolverine will be day and date.
Employees celebrating someone's death? And the funny thing is, you'd like to think that a lot of these employers, if they had known that they were hiring someone with these sorts of twisted views, they wouldn't have hired them in the first place. You'd like to think that this was a carefully hidden mindset, that was how these people ended up working at companies like this. But based on Sucker Punch's inability to call this guy out, it seems likely that this is a mindset that is pretty generally shared among all these Sucker Punch employees. But here's another person asking basically the same question, a simple statement on how unacceptable it is for employees of Sucker Punch and Sony to celebrate assassinations would go a long way. Why can't you make such a statement? And the thing is, these people have it in their heads at Sucker Punch and Sony that the modern audience is their actual audience. The sooner you understand that, the sooner all of their decisions start to make sense. Everything from the removal of Jin Sakai from the franchise, even though he was very beloved and absolutely had more opportunities for story, but going from that to replacing him with a girl boss character played by the activist Erika Ishii, to the hiring of guys like John Dombrow, a writer from Dragon Age The Veilguard, to filling their ranks at the studio with people who dislike folks like Charlie Kirk. It all makes sense when you realize that they just don't view politically milquetoast straight men as their target audience, despite the fact that they make up the vast majority of gamers out there.
That's true.
But no, the demographic they wanted were the girl gamers and the they-them crowd and all that sort of thing. This game was first conceived back around 2020 or so, no doubt, right around the time that Ghost of Tsushima was being released, and the world was a different place back then. Culture was absolutely steeped in wokeness, and all of the decisions that they have made for this game have stemmed from that, and now they are reaping the rewards. That is why they have essentially had to retreat from X and didn't post the trailer on there. That is why they haven't made an announcement about how sorry they are that their employee would basically wish for the death of an innocent man because they don't view people who disagree with them politically as their customers. Sure, they'll take your money if you're stupid enough to give it to them, but be real. They do not think that you are the target audience. They don't even really want you around. So let me say this, if you haven't watched this new trailer yet, then type it up, type in 1000 Blades on YouTube and go watch it, and then in the comment section, let PlayStation and Sucker Punch know just what you think of these cowards, and soon we should have a jolly old ratio.
First and foremost, good video. Also, apologies, there was a cut. I have to accidentally connect my Wi-Fi, my phone Wi-Fi to my computer. My Wi-Fi, I don't know. I didn't even turn it off. It turned itself off automatically, and it's probably one of the reasons why desktop viewers are dipping. But that's just my theory. First, if you read the title, it is now up. Ghost of YoTei is 450% cooked. Again, understand one thing. First, console exclusive, okay? Console exclusive, there's limitation. For example, you can't expect everyone to buy a console. Some people have PC. Yes, some countries have consoles, but there are some places, like say, what was that? The US? I'm 100% certain most USA have a computer, have a PC. They don't have a console. Yes, some of them have, but it usually depends on people. But I know the majority of gamers are from PC, and console exclusive is no more. Marvel Spider-Man 2 took like what, 15 months to get to PC port? Marvel Spider-Man 1, 4 years. I know, I'm giving this example, but as you said that, why was it? Was it because the game is successful or the game was failing? If the game was failing, let's just say Marvel Spider-Man 1 fails in the console, but why did it took 4 years? So my theory is that Marvel Spider-Man 1 was a success, well, at least everybody loves it, except the journalists. After that, it took another 4 years to port it. And Marvel Spider-Man 2, yes, despite the hype was there, but then when players found out about the ending, they have to speed up the PC port. I think the ending of Marvel Spider-Man 2 is the one thing that forces Sony to speed up the PC port. Because I think after that, Sony cannot wait because they want the PC port, they want money. They knew that virtue signaling, or in this case, they knew people have hated the ending of Marvel Spider-Man 2. But that's just my theory, okay? I don't know about Ghost of YoTei. Hopefully the ending or something, because usually all it takes is just one script, or in this case one scene, to piss off everybody. Doesn't matter whether you are a hardcore fan or not, it will happen eventually. Regardless whether you're a fan or not, just remember, you cannot tolerate this kind of behavior of mocking or celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, or anybody for that matter. Leave a like and subscribe if you want woke or anti-woke detected, or you just want to see me play games, or perhaps you like trending topics. Visit my second, third, and fourth channel up here, or link in the description.
这是为了路易莎。